Seniors, listen carefully because what you're about to hear is one of the most shocking discoveries ever released in a cardiovascular nutrition study for adults over 60. A team of cardiologists analyzing more than 15,000 seniors uncovered that oatmeal alone, the breakfast everyone thinks is perfect for heart health, isn't actually strong enough to reverse arterial plaque after age 60. In fact, plain oatmeal can leave critical gaps in your cardiovascular protection, allowing cholesterol to continue building up and arteries to keep stiffening. But here's what makes this discovery so remarkable. These same researchers didn't just identify the problem. They discovered that adding 5 specific ingredients to your morning oatmeal creates a synergistic effect so powerful it can actually reverse years of arterial damage. These aren't exotic superfoods or expensive supplements. They're simple, natural ingredients you can find at any grocery store. And what they found left the entire cardiology panel stunned. Most add-ins did nothing for arterial health. Some, like sugar and artificial flavors, actually made plaque worse. But hidden inside the results were 5 powerful ingredients that changed everything. These ingredients didn't just help a little. They triggered cardiovascular protection mechanisms the researchers had never seen before in older adults. LDL cholesterol dropped dramatically. Arterial flexibility improved. Blood flow increased to extremities. And most remarkably, imaging scans showed actual plaque reduction in arteries that had been clogged for years. Even more shocking, these 5 ingredients worked fast, many producing measurable improvements in arterial function in under 6 weeks. One ingredient warmed cold hands and feet within days. Another reduced blood pressure readings. It felt like these foods were reawakening a lost healing pathway in aging arteries, something seniors didn't even know was still possible. That's why in this video, we will reveal the 5 most powerful ingredients you can add to your oatmeal to clear your arteries, ranked from least to most effective. And stick around because number 1 contains a compound that increases nitric oxide so dramatically that cardiologists saw arterial flexibility improve by 40% in participants over 65. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. How old are you, and have you been diagnosed with high cholesterol or arterial plaque? We're jumping into the comments and replying to as many seniors as possible. Now, without any further ado, let's start with number 5. Number 5. Ceylon cinnamon. Most people think of cinnamon as just a flavoring for oatmeal, something that makes breakfast taste better. But after age 60, this humble spice becomes one of your most powerful weapons against a silent process that's stiffening your arteries right now. Glycation. Here's what most doctors don't explain clearly enough. Every time you eat carbohydrates, even healthy ones like oatmeal, your blood sugar rises. That's normal. But as we age, our bodies become less efficient at managing those glucose spikes, especially after decades of dietary stress. This excess sugar floating in your bloodstream doesn't just disappear. It reacts with proteins in your arterial walls, creating sticky compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These compounds literally glue themselves to your artery walls, making them rigid, inflamed, and prone to plaque buildup. Scientists call this process glycation, and it's one of the primary drivers of arterial aging that nobody talks about. A study published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition followed 780 adults over 60 and found that those with the highest levels of glycation markers had arteries that were functionally 15 years older than their chronological age. Their blood vessels couldn't expand and contract properly, blood pressure was chronically elevated, and circulation to extremities was significantly impaired. But here's where cinnamon becomes remarkable. Research from the University of California, Davis discovered that compounds in cinnamon called polyphenols actually slow down how quickly carbohydrates break into sugar, creating a gentle, sustained release rather than sharp spikes. When your blood sugar stays stable, glycation decreases dramatically, and your arteries stay smoother and more flexible. A clinical trial published in Diabetes Care found that adults who consume just half a teaspoon of cinnamon daily reduced their fasting blood sugar by an average of 18% and improved insulin sensitivity by 24% within 12 weeks. But cinnamon's benefits go beyond blood sugar control. It's loaded with powerful antioxidants that protect your arterial lining from oxidative damage and inflammation. Think of it as giving your blood vessels a protective coating every single morning. When choosing cinnamon, always select Ceylon cinnamon, also called true cinnamon, not the common cassia variety. Ceylon contains far less coumarin, a natural compound that can stress your liver in large amounts. Cassia cinnamon, the cheap kind sold in most supermarkets, can contain up to 250 times more coumarin. Add half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon to your oatmeal after cooking to preserve its delicate essential oils and maximum potency. The warm, subtle sweetness reduces your need for added sugar while actively protecting your arteries from the very glucose you're eating. It's one of nature's most elegant solutions, hidden in plain sight on your spice rack. Number 4, extra virgin olive oil. Here's one addition that sounds absolutely crazy to most people: drizzling olive oil on oatmeal. But this unexpected combination could be one of the smartest cardiovascular decisions you make after 60. Extra virgin olive oil, especially high-quality, cold-pressed varieties, contains one of the highest concentrations of polyphenols found in any food. These aren't just antioxidants. They're signaling molecules that communicate directly with the cells lining your arteries, telling them to produce more nitric oxide, reduce inflammation, and resist cholesterol oxidation. The landmark pre-demmed study, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, followed over 7,400 adults at high cardiovascular risk. Those who consumed at least 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil daily reduced their risk of heart attack and stroke by 30% compared to those on a standard low-fat diet. But here's what makes this particularly relevant for seniors. Researchers at Boston University discovered that the polyphenols in olive oil specifically improve endothelial function, which is the ability of your arterial lining to expand and contract properly. After age 60, endothelial dysfunction becomes the primary cause of high blood pressure, poor circulation, and arterial stiffness. Olive oil essentially helps your arteries remember how to be young again. Another fascinating benefit that most people don't realize is that olive oil dramatically enhances the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients from other foods in your meal. That means the antioxidants from blueberries, the compounds from cinnamon, and the omega-3s from flaxseeds all become significantly more bioavailable when consumed with olive oil. You're essentially multiplying the effectiveness of every other heart-healthy ingredient in your bowl. A study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that consuming antioxidants with olive oil increased their absorption by up to 400% compared to consuming them alone. The key is choosing the right olive oil and using it correctly. Always buy extra virgin olive oil in dark glass bottles, ideally from a single origin like Greece, Italy, or Spain. Look for harvest dates on the label. The fresher, the better. And here's critical: never heat olive oil in your oatmeal. Add it after cooking, drizzling 1 teaspoon over your finished bowl. Heat destroys the delicate polyphenols you're trying to get. The taste is surprisingly pleasant, adding a smooth, almost buttery richness that complements the natural sweetness of oats. Many seniors who try this are shocked by how satisfying and delicious it makes their breakfast, while silently nourishing every artery in their body. Number 3. Wild blueberries. These tiny blue gems are nutritional powerhouses specifically designed by nature to protect aging cardiovascular systems. Their deep, vibrant color comes from anthocyanins, a class of antioxidants so powerful they can actually reverse existing arterial damage, not just prevent future harm. Here's what happens inside your arteries as you age. The inner lining, called the endothelium, becomes damaged by free radicals, unstable molecules generated by stress, poor diet, environmental toxins, and simply the passage of time. This damage creates rough spots on your arterial walls, where cholesterol particles can stick and accumulate, eventually forming plaque. Blueberries work like a repair crew for this damage. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics had participants over 60 consume 1 cup of blueberries daily for 8 weeks. At the end of the study, researchers measured flow-mediated dilation, which is the gold standard test for arterial flexibility. The results were stunning. Arterial flexibility improved by 45%, meaning blood vessels could expand and contract almost like they did 20 years earlier. But blueberries offer another critical benefit that's especially important for seniors. They dramatically increase your body's production of nitric oxide, the master molecule that controls blood vessel relaxation. Researchers at Florida State University found that adults who ate blueberries daily increased their nitric oxide levels by 68% within 6 weeks, leading to lower blood pressure, better circulation to hands and feet, and improved oxygen delivery to the brain and muscles. Many participants reported feeling warmer extremities, sharper mental clarity, and more sustained energy throughout the day. When adding blueberries to your oatmeal, use about half a cup of fresh or frozen berries. Frozen wild blueberries are actually superior to fresh, cultivated ones because they're smaller, more concentrated in nutrients, and picked at peak ripeness. As they warm into your oats, they release their deep purple juice, a visual sign that powerful anthocyanins are blending into your breakfast. Avoid dried blueberries or those packed in syrup, as the processing destroys most of the beneficial compounds and adds inflammatory sugars. For maximum benefit, slightly mash the berries with a fork after adding them to your oatmeal. This ruptures the cell walls and releases even more antioxidants. With every spoonful, you're not just eating fruit, you're actively repairing years of arterial wear and tear. Number 2, ground flax seeds. These tiny seeds might be the most underestimated cardiovascular superfood on the planet. Ounce for ounce, they contain more lignans than any other plant food, along with the highest levels of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids and soluble fiber that specifically targets arterial plaque. Here's the mechanism most people don't understand. When you eat flax seeds, their soluble fiber forms a gel-like substance in your digestive tract. This gel binds to cholesterol particles and bile acids, physically trapping them and escorting them out of your body before they can be reabsorbed and deposited in your arteries. Think of it as a daily internal sweep for your cardiovascular system, but the benefits go far deeper. A landmark study published in Hypertension, the Journal of the American Heart Association, gave participants with peripheral artery disease 30 grams of ground flaxseed daily for 6 months. The results were extraordinary. Systolic blood pressure dropped by an average of 15 points, diastolic by 7 points, and LDL cholesterol decreased by 15%. But most remarkably, ultrasound imaging showed that arterial plaque thickness actually decreased in 73% of participants. That's not just prevention, that's reversal. The alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, in flax seeds is a plant-based omega-3 that converts in your body to EPA and DHA, the same anti-inflammatory compounds found in fish oil. Research from Harvard Medical School found that higher ALA intake reduced the risk of heart attack by 59% in older adults. This omega-3 calms inflammation inside your arterial walls, preventing the immune response that causes plaque to grow and rupture. Here's the critical detail most people miss. You must use ground flax seeds, not whole. Whole flax seeds pass through your digestive system completely intact, meaning you get zero nutritional benefit. Buy pre-ground flaxseed meal or grind whole seeds yourself in a coffee grinder and store in the refrigerator to prevent the oils from going rancid. Add 1 tablespoon to your cooked oatmeal and stir thoroughly. The texture becomes slightly thicker and more satisfying, with a mild, nutty flavor that complements other ingredients perfectly. Many seniors notice improvements in their cholesterol numbers within 4 weeks of making this simple daily addition. Before we reveal the number 1 most powerful ingredient, if you're finding this information valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe. We have more heart-protecting strategies coming that could add years to your life. Number 1. Raw walnuts. If there's one ingredient that cardiologists wish every senior over 60 would add to their oatmeal, it's raw walnuts. And the science behind why they're so effective is absolutely remarkable. Walnuts contain the highest concentration of a specific omega-3 fatty acid called alpha-linolenic acid of any tree nut. But more importantly, they're one of the richest sources of L-arginine, an amino acid your body converts directly into nitric oxide. This is the breakthrough that makes walnuts the #1 ingredient on our list. Nitric oxide is essentially the signal that tells your arteries to relax and expand, allowing blood to flow freely without resistance or pressure. As we age, our natural nitric oxide production declines by up to 50%, which is why so many seniors develop high blood pressure, cold extremities, and poor circulation. Adding walnuts to your diet literally restores this production. A study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that eating just 4 to 5 walnut halves daily improved flow-mediated dilation by 64% in adults over 60. That means their arteries became dramatically more flexible and responsive within 8 weeks. Another study from Yale University Prevention Research Center gave overweight adults with metabolic syndrome a diet supplemented with walnuts. After 6 months, not only did their LDL cholesterol drop by 16%, but imaging showed actual reduction in arterial plaque thickness. Their blood vessels were literally getting cleaner from the inside. But walnuts offer benefits beyond just nitric oxide. They contain powerful polyphenols called L-arginine's that prevent LDL cholesterol from oxidizing. This is crucial because only oxidized LDL can stick to artery walls and form plaque. By preventing oxidation, walnuts essentially make your cholesterol harmless. Research from the University of Scranton found that walnuts have twice the antioxidant activity of any other nut. When adding walnuts to your oatmeal, use 4 to 5 raw walnut halves, roughly chopped. Raw is essential because roasting destroys many of the delicate polyunsaturated fats and polyphenols. Add them after your oatmeal is cooked to preserve their oils and maximize nutrient content. Avoid candied or salted versions entirely, as the added sugars and sodium counteract the cardiovascular benefits. The flavor is mild, slightly earthy, and provides a satisfying crunch that makes breakfast feel more substantial. Many seniors report noticeable improvements in circulation, warmer hands and feet, better focus, and more stable energy within just 2 to 3 weeks of making walnuts a daily habit. That's not placebo, that's your arteries responding to the nitric oxide boost and inflammatory protection they've been missing. And there you have it, 5 scientifically proven ingredients that transform ordinary oatmeal into a powerful arterial cleaning machine. From Ceylon cinnamon's glycation protection to extra virgin olive oil's endothelial support, wild blueberries, anthocyanin repair, ground flaxseeds cholesterol removal, and raw walnuts remarkable nitric oxide restoration. The research is absolutely clear. When you combine these 5 ingredients with oatmeal, you create a synergistic effect that doesn't just prevent future arterial damage, it actively reverses years of plaque buildup and stiffness. Consistency matters more than perfection. Start by adding 1 or 2 ingredients this week, then gradually build up to all 5. Your arteries don't need dramatic changes, they need daily support. Remember that these are natural foods, working with your body's own healing mechanisms, not against them. If you found this information valuable, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our upcoming videos on natural cardiovascular protection strategies for seniors over 60. Thanks so much for watching.